going on, guys? Sorry I missed yesterday. Turns out I have COVID again, but yesterday it was like the worst it's ever been, dude. I couldn't even like move. Today I feel 1,000 times better, but I still don't have full energy, so I don't really want to play Madden or anything like that, so we're gonna do a tier list instead, and the tier list is me grading every NFL team's offseason so far. And obviously I say so far because the draft hasn't happened, and obviously there still is free agents who could be picked up, but I feel like most teams have made most of their acquisitions by now, and we have a pretty good understanding of what the league is going to look like at the start of next season. Couple of quick plugs. One, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And two, if you're 18 years or older, head over to Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where code WyattzWorld will match up to $100 of your first deposit. Just remember, always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Alright guys, so here we are at the list, and I've got it set up as basic as possible in terms of grading, just A, B, C, D, or F. And with no further introduction, we can begin with the Tennessee Titans. What have they really done? They got Arden Key, Sean Murphy-Bunting. They did get an offensive tackle for like 3 years too, which they needed. I wish I could have seen them do a little bit more trying to get some offensive weapons, but they did at least attempt to fill some gaps. I give them a C. Up next, we've got Miami. I'll say B, high B. I'm not going to give them an A because they got Jalen Ramsey. Like, yeah, that's huge, but that was by far the biggest thing they did. Picked up a couple of linebackers on very good contracts. They re-signed Mostert, and they got Jeff Wilson, or maybe re-signed him. I can't remember if they had him last year or not. They got Braxton Berrios, Mike White. You know, they've done a lot of things, but a lot of them were very small things aside from Jalen Ramsey. So, yeah, I'll say B and a high B. Moving on, we got the Jets. I mean, it'd be a lot better if they had Aaron Rodgers secured, but they still don't. Now, they got Lazard, obviously, and prep for Aaron Rodgers. They extended Quincy Williams for 3 years. I think they got Greg the Leg. They got Chuck Clark. They just picked up Solomon Thomas, too, who was kind of a bust. But I think if they had Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to give them a B to an A. But the fact that they don't have him right now, probably a D. Just a matter of time, but you got to work that out. And I wouldn't give up a first-round pick for him either. Guy's 39, and he's contemplated retiring over the last 2 seasons. Why would you? Up next, we've got the Bengals, and I'm actually going to say C. I love the Orlando Brown pickup, but I'm not sure your team gained more than it lost, especially with your defense taking a massive hit losing Jesse Bates. Also, aside from Orlando Brown, have you guys done anything? Maybe extended Jermaine Pratt for 3 years, but is he even that good? Okay, moving on, we've got Cleveland, and I'm not gonna lie, I think they've had a very underrated offseason. I'm gonna give them a B. For one, you gotta win getting rid of Jadeveon Clowney. The guy is a bum. And on top of that, they extended their center. They got Juwan Thornhill, Delvin Tomlinson, and that really good defensive end from the Texans. I'm not gonna try and pronounce his name because I'll fail. This guy, I don't know how to say that. I think they did good. After the Browns, we've got the Bills. I think after the acquisition of Damian Harris, that can bump them up to a B, a low B. Now Jordan Poyer coming back, that's huge. Restructuring and extending Matt Milano, that's huge. Like I said, I don't know if the guard from Dallas is good that they paid $20 million for. But getting Damian Harris, Trent Sherfield, Deontay Hardy, they can be in the B column, but it's a low B. Up next, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They really haven't done anything. They extended Roy Robertson Harris, and they franchise tagged Evan Ingram. They do have Calvin Ridley, but that wasn't an off-season acquisition. That was an earlier trade. I'm gonna say D, but at the same time, it's not because they really needed to even do much. Honestly, this team isn't missing a whole lot. They just need to play together. Moving on to Detroit. I'm actually gonna give them an A. I'm gonna give them an A because they hammered what they needed to hammer. They went absolutely nuts on their defense. Cam Sutton, Chauncey Gardner, extended Alex Anzalone, picked up a lineman, picked up another corner, and on top of all that, they got David Montgomery in place of Jamal Williams, which at the end of the day, David probably is a much better running back than Jamal, but I just thought Jamal fit the system so well. However, it's not really a loss. All right, on to the Patriots. They got a high B as well. Extended Jonathan Jones, Jabril Peppers, picked up Mike Gesicki, Juju, James Robinson. You can go look, man. It's just like Miami. They made 1 million transactions this offseason, although 3/4 of them were pretty small. They did well where they needed to. Up next, we got Dallas. A. Franchise tag Tony Pollard, you got rid of Zeke, acquired Stephon Gilmore, acquired Brandon Cooks, and extended Leighton Von Der Esch. Like, that they did elite this offseason. Up next, we got the Vikings. C and probably a low C at this point. Like, yes, Byron Murphy, that can be good if he stays healthy. Marcus Davenport, that can be good if he stays healthy. But they lost Adam Thielen, they lost Pat Pete, lost Cam Dantzler, paid $21 million for a random ass tight end. I don't know why they did that. The good thing is they did get Brian Flores though. Like that helps them. I just don't think the team is better. Moving on, we got Chicago, A. DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds, Robert Tonyan, Dante Foreman traded away the #1 pick for even more picks. This team already looks like they're going to win 5 more games than they did last year. I can't imagine what they're going to look like after the draft. Excellent job, Chicago. Up next, we got Seattle. I'm gonna give them a D. I won't give them an F, but they really haven't done anything either. They got that defensive tackle from Denver, and then they extended Geno, which I think was an overpay, to be honest. Well, now we got Carolina. They have an A. Traded for the #1 pick. Got Von Bell, got Adam Thielen, got Miles Sanders. Like, yeah, I think they get an A. They also picked up Hayden Hurst, and they got a center, too. Up next, we've got Washington. They get an F. They extended Darren Payne, which is great because he was a Pro Bowler for him last year. But other than that, what have they done? They got Jacoby Brissett. I just checked. They got a guard, too. Andrew Wiley from the Chiefs, I think it was. But I still don't think they had a good offseason at all. Moving on, we got Houston. A. Got a new coach. Just picked up Devin Singletary and Dalton Schultz. They got Robert Woods, Jimmy Ward, Noah Brown. They've got a fantastic draft spot. Like, I think they did very, very well for themselves. Up next, we've got the Bucks. Extended Jamal Dean, picked up Chase Edmonds and Baker Mayfield. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's an F. You did get Baker for an elite price, though. You're only guaranteeing him $4 million, which is dirt cheap, especially for someone who was a #1 pick just, 5 years ago? Moving on, we got San Francisco. This was a team that just made like one big move and then a ton of other small ones, but their one big move wasn't even, I don't think, the caliber of like Jalen Ramsey. Their big move was Javon Hargrave, by the way. It's fantastic, but I honestly think they only get a C. Aside from Hargrave, they got Sam Darnold and then another list of 7,000 one-year acquisitions of people I've never heard of. Moving on, we got the Chargers. Extended a tackle and got Eric Kendricks. I'm gonna say D. They really just haven't done a lot. After the Chargers, we've got the Raiders. Okay, so they franchise tagged Josh Jacobs. They downgraded at their quarterback to Jimmy G from Derek Carr. Signed OJ Howard, who couldn't even make the Bills practice squad last year. Got Jacoby Myers, which is somewhat big, but I really don't like their move at quarterback, honestly. I'm gonna say D? No, we can give him a C because keeping Josh Jacobs is big, but that's about it. Up next, we've got Atlanta. B, damn near an A. They did really good. I like Jesse Bates. I like Jonnu Smith. Picked up a linebacker from the Saints. Signed an offensive tackle. Got Taylor Heineke in case Desmond doesn't work out. I'm expecting him to get some offensive heat in the draft. I think the Falcons have done well. Up next, we got Baltimore. F, an absolute bomb so far. They've got Lamar on a non-exclusive franchise tag, and as far as I've seen, that is the only thing they've done. So in a nutshell, the only thing they have accomplished is maybe keeping Lamar Jackson. Moving on, we got the Giants, and I'm gonna give you an A because you guys have done phenomenal. But I hate what you gave Daniel Jones because you guys completely destroyed the market going forward. So for that, fuck you. But aside from that, you guys have done absolutely fantastic. You got yourselves a quarterback. You franchise tag Saquon. You got the linebacker from the Colts. You've got Darren Waller. I think you've re-signed nearly every receiver that was on the team last year. That were good anyway. The only other thing you guys really could have done to improve further is getting yourselves a stud, which I still think you're going to get Odell. After the Giants, we've got the Saints. I'll give you guys a B. Got Derek Carr, who's a legitimate quarterback. You're keeping Michael Thomas due to a restructure. I think I saw you got multiple linebackers. DTs and Nathan Shepard and Kalen Saunders. You also got Jameis for another year as a backup. I think you guys did fine. So on to Pittsburgh. They've had a pretty quiet offseason too. They've extended Ogunjobi. They got a guard from the Eagles and they got Patrick Peterson. It is nice to see him try and patch the hole of Cam Sutton though and to try and beef up the O-line. I'll give him a D for the effort. Moving on to the Packers, they get an F or an F-. Literally don't know if they have picked up a single person who is going to start on their team next year. And they've sat here and shit the bed on this whole entire Aaron Rodgers operation because they're going to be asking for way too much. Following the Packers, we got the Eagles. Now, this is a team that lost a lot, and it's a team that gained a lot. Obviously, they lost Chauncey Gardner. They lost Hargrave. They also kept James Bradbury and Darius Slay. They're keeping Jason Kelsey because he's not retiring. They got Rashad Penny. I'll give them a C because I think they did well, especially for how much they lost, but they did lose a considerable amount. Up next, we got the Cardinals. Probably an F. I don't even know if they've done anything memorable, and as of right now, I think they're probably going to have the worst record in the league next year. By the looks of the list I just saw, they got like 3 offensive linemen and Corey Clement, and that's about it. They haven't even done anything to try and patch the holes of Zach Allen and JJ Watt. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Moving on, we got the Broncos, and weirdly, I'm going to give them a B because I think they only really made 2 big moves, but the team really needed those. One of them was getting Zach Allen for the defense because that defense has been missing some pressure, especially since getting rid of Bradley Chubb. And Mike McGlinchey will help give Russ more than 4 seconds before he's thrown to the ground. Fun fact, did you know Mike McGlinchey is a cousin of Matt Ryan? Because I did not. Moving on, we got Indy. F? Have they done anything? They got Gardner Minshew. They also got Matt Gay and a defensive end, I guess. But yeah, I don't think they've done anything good. After the Colts, we've got the Rams. F? I really don't think they've done anything aside from trade Jalen Ramsey for a bag of Skittles. And finally, we got the Chiefs. I know they got an edge rusher and they lost Orlando Brown, but picked up Jawan Taylor. Probably give them a D. Again, not necessarily because the team has needed to pick up a whole lot, but they just haven't really done much. Anyway, guys, that is it. That's my grade for every team's offseason so far. Feel free to let me know where you agree. Feel free to let me know where you disagree. I'm sure I'll get screamed at by somebody. I'm ready for you. Anyway, guys, that is all for today's video, though. I'm sorry for the lack of energy. I'm going to hopefully have more of it tomorrow so we can play some Madden or do something else different. However, with everything I just said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe if you have time. And as always, I will see you in the next video.